What's going on, Rams fans? Welcome back to Rams Showcase. Tonight, the Rams, they got new uniforms. We're talking about them. Also, the hit list was released. We break it down right here on Rams Showcase.
Welcome to Rams Showcase on Sports War Radio.
What's going on, Rams fans, and welcome back to another edition of Rams Showcase right here on Sports War Radio. I am your host, Joe Branham, but you can and should call me Sheriff Joe Bags. Laying down the law for you guys tonight. Pretty cool show. Not a lot of news to get into, but we do have some fresh new uniforms. And the hit list, the schedule was released. We break it down. We'll be talking about all that stuff. We do have a mild news to get into. We'll talk about that here in a second. But like I said, we're talking uniforms. We've got some comments from some... I'm not going to go into the former players' comments, but we have some current players' comments about the fan reaction on these. Turns out Sheriff Joe Bags is no longer alone in in my emotions on people bashing everything that the Rams are doing right now. Not alone anymore, and I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. We're talking schedule too. We're going to talk all about it, breaking down. I don't want to say breaking down because it's still May. So we got a lot to get into before, or a lot that's going to happen before we really get into this schedule stuff. Obviously, you know, every single week we'll be doing a breakdown of the game, and it's a little bit difficult to do that now because we're waiting on stuff like injuries and all that to happen. Also, coronavirus, we're waiting for that to happen or to not be happening anymore. So we're getting there, but it's way too soon to speculate on if this week one Cowboys at Rams game at SoFi Stadium is going to go down. It's a little bit too early to really say for sure if that's going to happen, but I like to stay confident and I like to just go ahead and plan for that to happen. And I also got to pick out a game to go to this year. There's a couple of really good options that we're looking at. Both of the New York teams are actually two games that I'm looking at. So we'll see what happens. Of course, that's a little bit ways away. We don't need to necessarily worry about that right now. It's still only May. And we don't even know what's going to happen. So we'll be, it's going to be a fun year, though. I can already see it. Look at this schedule. It kind of starts a little bit rough, and we'll talk about that, but it ends pretty nice for the Rams. And a lot of people are saying, like Rams got totally screwed on their schedule. Yeah, but only in the beginning, only for like the first 5 weeks. After that, it's pretty much okay. A pretty normal schedule with normal emotions tied to it, in my opinion. I don't know. The thing is we don't get a pick, obviously, who we play. That's just a rotational thing. We don't get a pick when we play them. That's just a schedule maker thing. And, some of the rumors that we heard about the schedule, about like all four AFC versus NFC games for everybody was going to be packed into week 1 through 4. That, of course, did not happen. That's okay with me, though. I have no issues with that. I think it's actually kind of sweet that the Rams get to open up in a primetime game against the Dallas Cowboys. But like I said, we'll get into all that here in a little bit. But first, let's get into the one bit of news that we do have, which is a little bit interesting, is that the Rams have asked the NFL for $500 million in additional funding for SoFi Stadium. This would put the total that the team has borrowed from the NFL at $900 million, but would also double the time that the team would need to pay that back. My question in all of this is, where is Dean Spanos? Where are the Chargers in all of this? This is your stadium too, guys. Come on now. And I realize that the whole emotion of Rams fans and the Chargers and stuff like that, which is fine. But the Chargers are there, though. That's kind of just how I'm treating it, is they do exist in LA, and they will be playing in SoFi Stadium alongside with the Rams, so it's just something we got to live with, which is fine. The Chargers owe $200 million from the original loan. This does, of course, that was $400 million that the Rams and Chargers borrowed for SoFi Stadium. This stadium is mad expensive, though. We're looking at over like $7 billion for this stadium, and what has Dean Spanos paid? Close to nothing. He's paying nickels for this stadium, so I don't think that the Rams necessarily should have even gone to the NFL. I think Kroenke should have gone straight to Dean Spanos and said, dude, if you want to play in the stadium, we need more money. And it's kind of crazy because this stadium was supposed to be like $2 billion, and that was already like, whoa. And then it just kept raising. It just kept going higher and higher and higher. Now we're looking at like a $7 billion stadium, which, I mean, I have no problems with because I'm not paying for it necessarily. I mean, obviously we'll kind of pay for it with jerseys and tickets and all that stuff. But ultimately, this is going to be paid for pretty clean. And, you know, each individual, all of us, we're only paying a little bit for it. So we get to reap all the benefits, though, of $7 billion being put into this, while we only pay for like a couple of game tickets, maybe some jerseys, some merch, all that stuff. Or if you're one of those people who refuses to wear new stuff, that's fine. You buy old merch. It still goes to the team. You're still supporting them, so it doesn't matter. Whatever. It's you're not making that big of a statement. You're still just paying. You're just giving Stan Kroenke money still, and that's all he cares about. We all know that that's all he cares about, though. So, I mean, not a whole lot to necessarily get into on that topic. So, we want to talk about uniforms, though. Rams got new uniforms. I talked about it on the last episode. Was like, where the heck are these? And then we finally. Actually, Jared Goff kind of let it slip on a Twitch stream. You know, somebody had asked him, like, wait, what's up with the uniforms? And he was like, oh, tomorrow. Sometime this week. And he, like, tried to cover it up really fast, which I thought was really funny. But, hey, we got him. He was right. They did come out the next day. And I'll be honest, I'm a fan. I know a lot of people kind of aren't. But, you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about these a little bit, I think. So, we need to first talk about they're just a little bit interesting. I mean, it's not what I expected. I'll tell you that much. I didn't think we were going to get a bone gray, but apparently that was decided quite some time ago. This actually, the Rams and the NFL had actually filmed in New Jersey last summer, basically game scenarios of players wearing the bone gray uniforms against other different color uniforms so they could film it and see how it pops out on camera, because the Rams did need to get special permission from the NFL to wear the bone gray, which I'll be completely honest, I'm a big fan of. I love them. I think it's great. I think the bone gray with those numbers and stuff, I think it looks great. I know that the gradient on the blue jerseys are not necessarily everybody's favorite, but I think they're fine. I think when I heard gradient, I wasn't excited, but then when I see them, I'm like, okay, I'm down for it. Whatever. Very vibrant colors. I'm into that. I know that I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I know that Eric Dickerson had kind of made some comments, but I actually disagree with his comments. I don't think that they look soft. I think they look fine. They're uniforms, first of all, and this isn't a fashion show. This isn't a fashion contest of any sort. And I've always been anti the fashion show of it. You know what I mean? Like, when the Seahawks got their new uniforms, like, dude, like, who cares? Just play some football. Are you good at football? Then cool. I don't care what you're wearing then. And the same thing with the Bucks, the Jags, all these teams coming out with these crazy uniforms. I've never cared about it. Never really cared about it at all. But, you know, I think they're fine. They represent the LA Rams, and that to me is what the most important thing is. But pretty mixed reviews overall. About 50% of the people that I'm seeing online, that's just a rough estimate, obviously. 50% of people commenting and everything, they're saying they don't like them. But I'm here to kind of say that the people who don't like them are usually the more vocal people. I'm not on there commenting like, hey, I like these. Hey, I like that one too. Hey, I like this. Like, because people who like it don't feel the need to say anything, because it's just like, you see it, you're scrolling, however you scroll, and you see the uniforms, and if you like them, you're just kind of like, oh, cool. And you maybe hit like, whatever. Maybe you don't. I don't like a lot of posts that I actually do like, and then you just keep moving. But then there's the other side, the other people, which is only like the 10%, if I'm being real. The 10% is like, they see it and they're like, they just see that it's different from before. They don't pay attention to what it actually looks like. They don't read the article about why these decisions were made. They just see that it's different. They glance at it and go, terrible. That looks awful. And I can't relate to that. I mean, you can hate them. You can not like them. That's totally fine. That's your call. If you want to only wear older stuff, that's totally cool. I'm not here to bash you for that. All I'm saying is don't attack me because I think they're okay. Because I think they're fine. I already paid for my customs. Already paid for them. I got a gray one and a blue one on the way. Already did it. What's interesting to me is this little patch that you can see on the if you're watching the YouTube channel. The patch that's on the left little shoulder part on both jerseys that are different jerseys, by the way, they're different setup, and that was done on purpose. What I find interesting about that is I kind of think that it sets up for the future for corporate sponsorships. I think it's kind of like conditioning the viewer to not really necessarily care about a patch. Because if a team came in with the patch initially with like a Coca-Cola patch or something like that, or for the Rams, maybe a Best Buy or an IKEA, as the jokes are, which those colors are very close, so I thought it was funny. But if like the Rams put IKEA on their chest or Best Buy, then nobody would necessarily notice after a few years because we've just been rocking this. And I think that's kind of where the league is going. We've seen it in the NBA. They've put corporate sponsorships, and it's weird corporate sponsorships too. Like, it's weird to me to see Wish on a Lakers jersey. To me, that just seems like such a weird brand. So if you guys can be okay with Wish being put on a Lakers jersey, then I don't see why anybody would have a problem with anything else being on the Rams jerseys. But at the same time, I've yet to see a Rams fan, maybe there's like 4, a Rams fan who's just been like cool with what's happened this offseason. You either hate the logo, you hate the uniforms, you hate the moves they made, you hate Kevin Demoff, whatever. Everybody just hates everything right now. And I understand, the world's a little bit weird, and I think that everybody's a little bit emotional right now. Everybody needs to relax a little bit, because these jerseys are fine. And when we see them on the field in SoFi Stadium, no one's going to care. And we'll talk about that here in a second. But there's the players love them, okay? The players love them. The young kids are loving them, apparently. Apparently I'm in that. I'm 28. Young kid. The Rams will not designate the home or away, which tells me we will see the bone gray at SoFi Stadium multiple times. Of course, we know that the Rams cannot always wear their blues on the road. That won't always be allowed if a team's wearing blue, or their dark uniforms, of course, because typically the Rams are the only team in the NFL right now, or in any actual professional sports, who does not have a white jersey. So that's a little bit interesting, but at the same time, they tested it, like I said, but that's going to serve as the white jersey when the other team, the home team, is wearing their dark colored uniforms. So we'll see them at SoFi at least a couple of times. And then also, this isn't all we get. We actually get a new uniform, a new jersey style next year, and then also the year after that. So we keep getting more. And if I had to put money out, if I just had to put some cash on it, I would say that we'll probably get a white and we'll probably get a yellow. That's just my guess. It could be. No, I think we get a white and a yellow, man. I feel pretty confident in that, actually. I feel strong that that's what it's going to be. So this is one thing I wanted to mention is my email popped up. One thing I wanted to mention here is some comments that some players made, and it's I'm going to pull it up here on my phone so that I can actually see it big enough to read it. But put that on the screen for you guys. This is Cooper Kupp posted. Cooper Kupp, this is actually John Johnson's post. He screenshotted or shared or whatever Cooper Kupp's post. Cooper Kupp said, "The Rams were the first organization to put something on their helmets. They have led the way before when it comes to innovation. It's fearlessness, it's creativity, it speaks to what the city is about. Sports, fashion, it all starts here. There's so much history, so many memories shared between fathers and sons and mothers and daughters of watching their favorite players make big plays and winning games. This change is really about recognizing, understanding, and celebrating how rich the history of the organization, but again, being courageous enough to lead the way and still move forward. When we are in SoFi and our offense is rolling, defense is making incredible plays, and the crowd is rocking, the jerseys are going to become part of that. You look good because you walk off the field as a winner." That was Cooper Kupp's comments. John Johnson had this to say. "Talk to him, Coop. You don't have to like, but if you don't want to embrace the change as fans, find a new team, respectfully." I absolutely agree with those comments. 100% agree with those comments. You don't have to like them, but it's what we have now. I know there's still people posting in like Facebook Rams groups and stuff about different concept uniforms, and that's all great. If you want to love the uniforms, or if you want to hate them, that's fine. But you have to understand that this is what we have now. The uniforms that they gave us are what we have. The logo that they gave us is what we have. Okay? So you can hate it. That's totally fine. But you do have to understand that that's what it is now. This is the world we are living in, where the Rams have a gray uniform and blue jersey with gradient numbers on it. That is just something that exists now. And if you can't accept that, change, find a new team respectfully. And I kind of agree with John Johnson's comment. I totally agree with John Johnson's comments. I'm not going to try to kind of like back down on my own comments here. I absolutely agree. And it's just understanding that this is what we have now. And if you can't hang with that, why not? Like, first of all, like, if you're not going to love the logo, or I'm not even gonna say love the logo, you don't have to like it. I when I first saw it, I was like, oh man, like, whatever. Okay, well, it's the logo. Moving on. You know what I mean? That's like genuinely how it happened for me. The jerseys, I like them. I thought right when I saw them, I was like, okay, I'm down. These are sweet. I'm into it. But if you hate the logo, you hate the uniforms, you hate Kevin Demoff, you hate Les Snead, you hate Sean McVay, you hate what the moves the Rams are making, why are you even here? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Why are you calling yourself a Rams fan when you just blatantly hate everything that the team is doing? It just doesn't make any sense to me. If anybody cares to explain or elaborate on that, feel free to blow up my comment section like you guys usually do, talking about how ridiculous I am just because of these because I defend the team. Honestly, that's exactly how I see it. I see people coming after me because I'm defending the Rams, and I don't know what to tell you guys. We're going those are some kind of those are comments that people are going to hate. That's just the way it is. It happens. But now it's time. We're going to break down the schedule, okay? I know some of you guys hate me now, and that's okay. A lot of people hate me. It happens. We're talking schedule now. Rams 2020 hit list. It begins in week 1 at home against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. What a great way to open up SoFi Stadium, hopefully. Jerry was absolutely massive in getting the Rams back to Los Angeles, so I think it's actually really cool that Jerry gets to help open the stadium. One comment, though, that I did see is that one Cowboys player guaranteed a win over the Rams in week 1. That's actually not what he said. Not what he said at all. That it was a Rams website that interpreted those comments that way. That's not what he said. What he did say was that we got to spoil the opening, but he's not guaranteeing a win. I need to relax with these assumptions and stuff. But also, who's going to kick the first field goal in SoFi Stadium? Is it going to be Greg Zuerlein with a star on his helmet? Oh man, can't really say on the Rams because we have 3 kickers right now, so we don't even know who's gonna be here week 1 kicking field goals. But GZ could still kick the first field goal in SoFi Stadium, but with a star on his helmet, not the horns. So that's kind of a weird feeling about that, you know. I don't know if I'd necessarily love that. Greg Zuerlein's second all-time scorer in Rams history could get the first points, in SoFi Stadium, not as a Ram. That'd be a bummer. Week 2, the Rams head to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. The Eagles will be in Washington the week before, so this will be their home opener. And Nickel Roby-Coleman and Rodney McLeod are 2 former Rams that will be playing in the Eagles secondary. NRC, of course, we know NRC very well, helped the LA Rams make it to the Super Bowl. Thanks, NRC. But now he's going down in week 2. Jalen Hurts could get some playtime, even with a healthy Carson Wentz. We'll kind of see how their game planning unfolds with all that. But yeah, it could be an interesting game. The Eagles are being talked about as potential division winners. So a lot more comments about Wentz, though. One thing I do love about this game is it's early. We get it in week 2, which means Carson Wentz will still be healthy for it. he's not going to get hurt till like week 9, so we'll at least get to play Carson Wentz. We'll actually get a Wentz versus Goff game, which is going to be fun. So week 3, I'm hearing that the Rams are not going to return back to LA before week 3 because they'll be playing in Buffalo, which isn't too far from Philadelphia. It's pretty general area, I guess. The Bills will be in Miami the week before, so the Rams will be maybe in town before them, maybe, or at least pretty close. And then, I already said that. Hearing that the Rams won't return back to LA, but the Bills did add Stephon Diggs. That'll be an interesting one. So we're going to get Stephon Diggs versus Jalen Ramsey in week 3, which will be a very fun game to watch. I think that's going to be a fun matchup. And the Bills also had a pretty strong draft. Should be a tough game, honestly. The Bills are being talked about as potential division winners as well in that division that no longer has Tom Brady. But the Rams don't get away from playing Tom Brady. We'll talk about that later. Week 4, the Rams head back to LA to take on the New York Football Giants. The Giants are home the week before against the San Francisco 49ers, so a Rams division opponent for the Giants the week before. Strong offense, second-year quarterback. We could see a sophomore slump there. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to say that that's what we're going to see. But also, Saquon Barkley, he's got tree trunks for legs, and the guy's insane. And, I mean, obviously, he's not stronger than Aaron Donald. No one is, but... Saquon is insane, but very bad defense for the Giants. If the Giants want to win this game, they're going to have to put up some points because this McVay offense versus a Giants defense, we're going to see some points. We're going to put up points in this one for sure. That's the first quarter of the season. The second quarter of the season, the week 5, the Rams head to the Washington Redskins. The Skins are at home versus the Baltimore Ravens the week before. Chase Young versus Andrew Whitworth will be the big matchup in this one for me. That'll be fun to watch. Big old grizzly old vet who's been playing in the league forever at left tackle versus the young gun who people are saying... People put this guy's name in the same conversation as Aaron Donald, which shouldn't necessarily be happening. Dude's never played in the NFL, but hey, that could be fun. New head coach and questions at quarterback, though, for the Washington Redskins. We'll see. We'll see how competitive this game is. I would say Dwayne Haskins will probably be the quarterback, and my condolences to Dwayne Haskins. Aaron Donald, this man has a family, okay? Be a little bit respectful, at least. Let's see. Week 6 in San Francisco on Sunday Night Football. The 49ers are at home the week before against the Miami Dolphins. Super Bowl team a year ago, but it has felt this entire time that the 49ers are just 1 year behind the Rams. So are they going to have a tough season? Are they going to have a 9-7 year like the Rams did? You lose the Super Bowl, go 9-7 and get third place in your division? We don't know. We'll see what happens to the 49ers, but I still don't have that much confidence in these guys. I don't know what it is, but I watch them play and it's like, yeah, they're good, but there's something, I feel like there's a way to stop them. And I think maybe this is the year that we see a defensive coordinator just come up with the formula. So we'll have to see. But after that, week 7, the Rams head back to LA to play the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football. The Bears are in Carolina the week before. Will we see Nick Foles? Nick Foles was a huge bag of bummers for the Rams. But will we see him in this one? You know who we will see, though? Robert Quinn, Bobby Q, and Khalil Mack off the edge. That's going to be a tough day for the tackles. Tough day for the tackles. We'll see who the tackles are. Right now, if I had to just guess, I would say it's going to be Whitworth and Havenstein. We don't know. Could be Whitworth and Evans. Could be Whitworth and Edwards. Could be Noteboom and Havenstein. Could be Noteboom and... there's a bunch of combinations, okay? Because who knows? This is week 7. We're going to be a little bit beat up by now. But the tough day for the tackles, for sure. And Nick Foles could be... He could be playing quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears they've had an interesting couple years. Matt Nagy, I think, would be potential hot seat candidate this season. After that, in week 8, the Rams travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins. The Dolphins are at home against the Chargers the week before, so they host LA teams back-to-back. Will it be Tua time? We don't know where he's at with his injury. We'll have to wait and see. Tua will wear the number 1. And we'll kind of see what happens with this game. Obviously, not a whole lot of playmakers on this team. Miami still, I think, is a little bit of a rough squad. They're getting there. I think in a couple years, under the right management and stuff, they'll be fine. But right now, I don't think that they're, competitive necessarily. Is like competitive because all NFL teams are good. The NFL is just good. From top to bottom, from the best NFL team to the worst NFL team is not that big of a difference. Not like where you're looking at college where if you put like Bama versus some crappy team, I don't know, pick your team. Pick your team that you want Bama to absolutely destroy. They would. So, yeah. Well, I mean, we do know Matt Breida, though. Matt Breida has made his way to Miami. And then after this, though, Miami and then a bye week. So we're just chilling. You can hang out in Miami for a little bit. A couple extra days, maybe catch some beach. I don't know if you necessarily care about the beach if you're already living in LA. But, I mean, new beach. Hey, it's a different beach. Whatever. And, yeah, so bye week, and then, of course, coming home against the Seattle Seahawks. So it's going to be a nice little break. I like playing home after a bye week. That's just real nice. The Seahawks are in Buffalo the week before. It's too hard to go into this matchup right now as far as, like, any kind of storylines. We know who they are. I mean, we know Russell Wilson's really good at football. We know that they have a pretty strong defense. We know that Pete Carroll's a good coach. We just know these things. We know that DK Metcalf, he's a strong dude. Like, we get it. You know what I mean? It's going to be a tough game. Division games are tough. And McVay versus Carroll is fun to watch. After that, though, the Rams play Monday Night Football again in Tampa Bay. So that's going to be a very fun matchup. The Rams have kind of had Tampa Bay's number for quite some time. It seems like these games are usually pretty good, though. Rams versus Bucks seem to be pretty good games. This time, the Bucks are coming. They'll be coming home from Carolina, but we got the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers in this one. We get to play Ndamukong Suh again. And remember, the reason that I even mentioned Ndamukong Suh is because he plays better or harder against former teams. When he was a Ram, the only games he tried in were in the playoffs and then against the Lions. That was it. That was all he tried for. The Lions, though, he wanted to beat them. Understandably. But he tries harder against former teams. We got Tom Brady, though. Tom Brady and Gronk in this one. I am not even mildly convinced that these moves put Tampa Bay into the conversation of Super Bowl contender. I am not about that life at all yet. I think that Tom Brady was the Patriots' weak spot on offense last year. I'm not saying he's bad or anything like that, but I think he was the weak spot. I think he held them back. Gronk, being out of football for a little bit, I guess that can kind of hurt you, but the guy's a physical freak, and he's not even that old. What is he, 30? He's going to be fine. Gronk's going to be fine. Gronk and Mike Evans on the same team, that's what scares me, not Tom Brady. And not Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians doesn't scare me. Because I don't think they necessarily fit each other. We'll get to that in Week 11, though. Week 12, the Rams are at home against the San Francisco 49ers. This is the only game all season where the Rams get a team off of a bye week. The 49ers are on a bye the week before, and the Rams are on Monday night. So not only do we get a shortened week, but our opponent gets an extra extended week. So that's kind of unfortunate, but it only happens the one time. After that, the Rams are in Arizona. The Cardinals are in New England the week before. And this is going to be, this is the first game against the Cardinals in this next season, and who knows what this team's going to look like. I'm not sold on them being amazing yet, but at the same time, their offense was not a problem last year. They were scoring points. They just couldn't stop anybody. Then taking Isaiah Simmons in the first round, I thought was very strong. Isaiah Simmons was like the one guy that I would have loved the Rams to get in this draft, but obviously that didn't happen, but whatever. So they improved their defense at least a little bit. Is it enough, though? Is it enough to compete with Jared Goff, Russell Wilson, Jimmy G? You guys know. You guys already know. But still, we'll see. We'll see what the Cardinals' defense looks like. I don't think that they addressed it enough. Adding Hopkins is insane, though. I mean, Kyler Murray had a good season. He's really good at not getting hit. I talked about it all last offseason. After he was drafted by the Cardinals, that this guy's not big enough to play this position. Let him get hit by Aaron Donald one good time. And he's really good at avoiding the big hits. So, I mean, go Kyler, I guess. I mean, I was a Kyler fan for a little bit when he was in Texas A&M, but Texas A&M kind of screwed that up. Let him go. Let him move on. Oh, well. After that, though, Week 14, the Rams are at home. Thursday night football against the New England Patriots. New England, though, is at the Chargers the week before. Rams in Arizona, Patriots in LA already. So the Patriots will be in their hotel before the Rams are even in LA. We have heard Rams aren't necessarily happy about this. It is very unfortunate. But you know what? You just got to do it. And if I was a Patriots fan, I'd be stoked. Honestly, it's hard to get mad when if it was us, if like the Rams had to play the Jets and the Giants like this, I would be stoked. If the Rams had to play at the Jets on Sunday and then at the Giants on Thursday night football and just stay in town, meanwhile the Giants are like somewhere else. Pick your city. I don't care. Then I would be all over it. I'd be like, hell yeah, man. We're going to be in our hotels before they're even in town. Let's do this. So hard to be mad because it's cool for them, but it sucks on our end a little bit. But at the same time, on the flip side of that, at least our players will be in their own bed and with their families and stuff. So I guess we kind of got that going for us. Who will the Pats be? Who are the Patriots Brady-less? I got to be a little bit honest here. I really think that they're just about the same team. Like I said earlier, I thought Brady was the weak spot of this team last year. And on the offensive side, I thought Brady was absolutely the weak spot. I thought he kind of held them back a little bit. So in my opinion, if Matt Castle can win, I know that was a long time ago. If Matt Castle, though, can win 11 games under that offense, all they need is a quarterback who's not an absolute joke, at the position to be fine, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. Is it going to be Stidham? I don't know. Could it be Cam Newton by now? I have no idea. Maybe Joe Flacco. I take your pick. I have no idea who's going to be quarterback for the Patriots. I don't know if they know. Maybe they do. Patriots, man, well-run team. We all hate them because of what they've done to us. And, the history, we all know it. I'm not going to go into it, but we all hate them and stuff. But damn it if they aren't a well-run team, man. Hard to disrespect that. I wish that the Rams kind of ran it like that, and a little bit more strict, a little bit more structured, But I love the Rams, so it's fine. Rams do it perfect. After that, though, the Rams stay at home, take on the New York Jets. The Jets are in Seattle the week before. Have not necessarily heard if the Jets are planning on staying on the West Coast after the Seahawks game, or if they do plan on going back to New York, but they may stay on the West Coast for this one. Sam Darnold, not a bad quarterback. If he had been drafted by a team that has, really well-run team with really strong coach, maybe some good weapons and stuff like that, he'd be Pro Bowler every year. I mean, he's really good. And it's weird, too. The Jets actually, they're not that bad of a team. I think they're kind of flying under the radar. Ha! No pun intended. But I think they kind of are because, Sam Darnold's a really good quarterback. They've got weapons. They've got a pretty strong defense. They've got running backs. They're doing fine. I think last year was just kind of like one of those anomaly years where your quarterback gets mono. What? How does that even happen? In 2019, how does anybody get mono if you're not 13? I don't think I know anybody who's ever had mono in my life. I don't know anybody who's had coronavirus either, though. I'm sure some of you guys have, but I actually don't. But, yeah, we'll see. It's just crazy to me. Crazy. Maybe I'm too sheltered. Maybe I don't need to comment because I'm too sheltered and I'm just staying at home. Hard to know when you only see 4 people, I guess. Week 16, the Rams are in Seattle. The Hawks are in Washington the week before, so they'll be traveling pretty far coming back. And the Rams, of course, will be in LA, so just got to head up the coast. Seahawks still, just like I said a little bit ago, pretty good team. We know we're going to have a battle with them. And then, of course, ending Week 17, the Rams come home against the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals will be in San Francisco the week before. And that's your schedule. That's your hit list. That's your 2020 hit list. I'm excited, guys. I'm so excited. And I'm having a difficult time hiding it. And It's one of those things where I'm kind of cautiously optimistic about this season even happening, but I'm still also pretty optimistic, cautiously, if you want to call it that, about other leagues coming back, the NBA, the NHL, MLB. I've never been necessarily a basketball guy. That's changing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just forcing it now. I'm just going to force myself to be a basketball guy. I don't know what team I'm going to go with yet. I'm just going to kind of start watching. It seems I feel like I'm being pulled to the Lakers a little bit, and I do love Caruso. Caruso's dope. I definitely watched him at Texas A&M. Helped A&M get to the Sweet 16. Of course, lost it there. That's the furthest they've ever gone. But so I remember watching Caruso there. He was balding then, so it's good to see a familiar dome. And MLB, a big Rockies fan. Love the Rockies. Nolan is the man, of course. We all know Trevor Story, the usuals. But I know most of you guys are Dodgers fans, so you guys are all booing me right now, probably, which is fine. Feel free to boo. It's okay, because I boo you guys all the time. Let's see, what else? NHL, big hockey fan. I actually was at the Avalanche and Kings game at the Air Force Academy. I don't have the towel, actually. I'm dropping a bunch of stuff, but I do have the towel because I wanted to show the YouTubers of the towel. Stadium Series. Just got one for free because we took a picture with like the Geico thing. But it was a blast. It was fun. A big hockey fan. Go Avs. And it was unfortunate. The Kings won that game. So congrats, Kings. Kings are like the Avs kryptonite though, so it's kind of a weird. They're just always beating the Avs for some reason. Just one of those teams. Kind of like how the Rams just don't lose to the Broncos, which for me is the best thing ever. It was like 2001. I was 10 years old last time the Broncos defeated the Rams. And being a Colorado native, that feels real good, guys. Real good. But you know what, guys? I think I'm running out of stuff to talk about with you guys. So we're going to hop out of here. But I want these uniforms, guys. I'm into them, okay? Sean White hoodies and denim and these new Rams uniforms. It's all essential to looking cool, okay? Graphic tees, leggings, and tunics, guys. I bet nobody gets that reference. I bet not a single person gets that reference. Sean White hoodies and denim and the Rams uniforms. I don't even know where I came up with that reference just now. It just popped in. That's going to do it for me, though. That is it. This has been Ram Showcase. I am Sheriff Joe Bags. This has been Ram Showcase on Sports War Radio. For those of you that aren't Rams fans, hold on a second. We don't have any music. We need to exit out here like this. There we go. Now it's going to do it for me. I appreciate you guys hanging out every single week with me. If you guys need some positivity, come at me. I'm really good at that. You guys looking for uniforms, new jerseys? I can point you in the right direction. Send a message. No sponsorships. but I'll do some shout outs later. I already ordered mine. Can't wait. They're on a little bit of a delay, Corona and stuff like that, so holding them back. But that's going to do it for me. I am Sheriff Joe Bags. This has been Ram Showcase on Sports War Radio. For those of you that aren't Rams fans, our thoughts and prayers are with you. For those of you that are Rams fans, thank you guys so much for listening, and you guys have a great night.